Hello, hello, hello. What is good, everybody? And welcome to the latest installment of Ali, episode 12. Is money necessary? Hello, hello, guys. It's so good to see you for another episode. I'm going to go ahead and kick this one right off. I have a very, maybe not so popular answer on this. I don't know. I honestly have no way to tell. But I'm just going to give you guys my real honest thoughts on this. And here we go. So, the question of today is money necessary? I say absolutely, without a doubt, yes. Yes. If you were to ask me the same question maybe a year or so ago, maybe even like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I would have told you, no, money isn't necessary. We don't need money. Money is just some shit that America makes you think is important, but it's really not, which has some truth to it. However, in the past few months, in the past year or so, I have come to a much different understanding of money. And it goes as this. I see money now as a resource, as a valuable, very valuable energy source even, that we all share, that we all exchange, the same way that we do oxygen, the same way that we do food and our very bodies when we die. It's a give and take. And money is probably one of the biggest indicators of how much value you present to a certain demographic of people. So regardless of if you think someone's means of obtaining the money is quote unquote good or not, or valuable or not, this is not talking about stealing. This is talking about people that actually just make a lot of money. Regardless, I came to the realization that people with money did something extremely valuable to a certain group of people. And that's it. And that's one of the things that I've sort of really come to terms with and like understood. And it's like, okay, so the amount of money that people make is directly in proportion with how much service or value they provide to a certain type of people, or maybe to most people, or to all people even. You realize the richest companies in the world are the ones like, or the people that own like food, shelter, water, the things that everybody needs. People that are rich tend to be people like, you know, musicians, athletes, people that have a talent that people desire to see in action, or maybe desire to see or themselves with, that people desire to listen to for self-actualization. People that are highly paid always find a way to bring value to some group of people at scale. And that's one of the things that I really have to think about. And this is one of the things that I encourage all of you guys to think about, especially if you want to make more money. Now, I'm not in a position to tell you, guys, you guys got to do this. Oh, this is how you make money, because I am not there yet. But what I can say is this is what I am observing. The only way to really be wealthy is to provide value, to provide a service, to provide something to other people at a large scale. Or you just charge a lot of money for every one person that you deal with, which some people do. But the wealthiest people have figured out a way to provide some sort of value for people at scale. And that's one of the things that I'm sort of trying to figure out for myself, because I feel like the true reality is money doesn't make a person. It only enhances who they already are or who they already want to become. So it's just like Captain America. The reason why Captain America was chosen to get his powers was because he was a good man, was because he was virtuous, was because he was a good leader. And that was it. And they knew that he was the right man for the job because of it. Because money, just like Captain America's powers, is both a responsibility and a very, very powerful asset. If you have money, you have control. If you have money, you have influence. If you have money, you have power. So I'm going to be very real about this. If you're not considering ways to make money, then you're probably not considering ways to, I guess, put yourself in a more elevated position with your life in general, which is fine, because I know not everybody wants the same thing. Not everybody wants to have a nice car or a nice house, but I'm sure that everybody would like to live the best life that they possibly can. And I'm sure everybody would like to achieve the best that their ability can provide. And I believe the best way that you can do that is to provide a service for other people, is to solve problems. People that make money solve some sort of problem. Real money. I mean real money. Like real money. The people that own airports, that's real money. The people that run banks, that's real money. If you find a way to solve a problem at scale, if you find a way to serve other people, you will be ridiculously wealthy and rich. And that's one of the codes that I'm trying to break. And it's also really sad because I feel like most of us, if not all of us, have been taught that money is the root of all evil, or that money is something that shouldn't matter to anybody, or that money is useless. Money is the only thing that will, I'll tell you this. If you care about anybody other than yourself, like people that extend beyond just you and people that extend beyond even your immediate family, right? If you care about helping people, money is the only way that you will be able to do it. I'm going to tell you right now, things do not happen. Big things do not happen without money. That's why I consider money an energy source. Let's say that you want to feed like 1 million people or something. How are you going to do that? You're looking at this giant boulder and you're trying to push it with your bare hands. Money is that power lifter. Money is the resource that you need, the energy that you need in order to move something extremely massive, which could change the world. If you have money, you can change the world, good or bad. But to answer the question, is money necessary? Hell fucking yes. But it's not for everyone. If you don't want it, that's fine. The only thing that really matters at the end of the day is if you're happy. But if you want money, and if you're sitting bitching and complaining about not having it, you're not doing anything about it. Solve problems, be of service, and money will come your way. Provide value, and that's it. That is all I gotta say about it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Discord to anybody who wants to speak. I hope that they were all able to hear what I said. Maybe we can have a good discussion. I kind of hope that somebody disagrees with me just because I like the conflict. I like a conflict in general. But yes, sorry, yeah, Otia, thank you for that. If you have not joined the Discord, please do so. That is how you can be a part of the show. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go into, I'm already in the on call. And it looks like, Otia, do you wish to speak? I'm going to unmute myself. Otia, is this you? Do you want to speak, or are we dragging somebody in?
No, I'm a drag Afro in. I'll speak if I need to, but I'll do it probably after a little bit.
All right, cool.
So we're gonna drag Afro in real quick.
All right, so it looks like we're having Afro coming on in. Here we go. Afro Gundam, welcome to the AILE episode 12. Is money necessary? What's good, my mans?
Quite so. Money is very necessary.
Yeah? Hold on one second. I'm gonna get you started.
I don't think anything can happen without money.
Hold on, I forgot to put the timer on, you guys. I'm a really shitty person. Okay, here we go. Are you ready to answer, by the way? I haven't asked
yeah.
Here we go. What you got for me, man?
All right, so money is very necessary.
Okay.
If we were to ever go into a place where money is not necessary, or ever actually get the idea in the sense that money is not necessary, it is impossible to properly barter for things in a way that you can value it to be bartered for other things as well. Like, one of your commissioned drawings isn't going to be the same of, like, you know, like 20 lines of code or anything like that. So for proper bartering, money is definitely a needed necessity.
So this is especially concerning, like, just the ability to trade in general, actually.
Correct.
Okay. So why is trade important?
Trading is important essentially because it runs the entirety of the modern world right now. If we were to not trade, nobody would get anything from anybody else. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to learn how to make beats. I'm not going to learn how to... I mean, I could, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it'd be far easier if I could just pay somebody.
Absolutely.
Like, make my beat for me. I got you. You know, $20 here, it's whatever, right? But at the same time, like I said, you could just learn it by yourself. But how are you going to learn it by yourself if you don't have someone to teach you? And time is what? Time is money. So if they don't have the time, then, and if I don't have the money to pay them for their time so that they can live a healthy lifestyle, then there's nothing to happen there. There's nothing there.
Yeah, I feel that. It's like, basically, I feel like money is really important because it allows us to have a common understanding of what value is, and like a structured value system, basically. And it allows people to not only perform work, because work is necessary, like we have to work. Have you ever sat and done absolutely nothing?
I have. It sucks.
Like nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, even like, for example, if I had like $1 million right now, I couldn't retire. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
What would I do?
Like, you have to have something to clear your mind. You have to have something to get your, just like, your angst out of you.
Your
because
energy.
Like, exactly.
Yes,
that's why people go into dementia. That's why people get Alzheimer's and whatnot, because they don't put their time after retiring into something that they want or something that they're actually invested and interested in.
Yeah, I know that one. That's an actual personal thing for me because my granny has dementia, actually. Yeah, and she retired, oddly enough. And man, it's wild seeing people that just don't have anything to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I feel like we're beings that are made of pure energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what runs our entire existence. And energy can't just sit somewhere. It has to disperse elsewhere. That's why I always thought of money as an energy source, because it's like the vehicle through which you allow people to expend energy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's actually a really nice way of putting it.
Yeah, it's the vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't
like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, it almost literally drives everything that we know.
It does.
Like, it's almost impossible to imagine a world in which money does not exist. Because even in a world in which money does not exist, money would still exist in some fashion.
Even if it's just
like it wouldn't be. You exactly. It wouldn't be paper. It might be like clamshells or some dumb shit. Like, you know,
bottle caps.
But
Fallout reference for you guys. I don't want to save the world. Let me stop.
Oh, fire.
That's my shit. But yeah, man, like, yeah, shiny rocks. Like, you always you realize that money or whatever we find valuable is usually something that you can't just find everywhere. Like, we don't find sand valuable, but we find diamonds valuable, even though sand is made of the same thing that diamonds are. You know what I mean?
Right. The thing with diamonds, though, is that they're not valuable. Like the only reason they have value is because of a monopoly.
Oh yes. Oh no, go ahead.
They're
Wait. So go ahead. Say what you're saying.
yeah, they're owned by a monopoly,
Mhm.
a worldwide monopoly that owns literally all the diamonds in the world. So they control the market value and how many diamonds are actually in the market at the same time. So it's almost impossible to actually get the real value of a diamond because they're not expensive, or at least like they're not valuable in a sense of rarity. They're more valuable in a sense of artificial rarity.
So here's my question:
Right.
is the value only perceived? Is it perceived value rather than intrinsic value?
Case by case.
Okay.
Like perceived value would be a diamond ring. Needed value would be a diamond axe or a diamond.
Minecraft. Hey.
No, not diamond. But you know what I mean, like
yeah.
diamond sharpened tools, because diamond is technically the hardest rock on earth. So, I mean, when you have diamond imbued tools such as diamond screwdrivers, diamond screws, diamond axes, and whatnot, and I mean, it's like you're not going to be able to cut anything that's diamond without diamond. So
that's really interesting. I'd never thought about actually using a diamond to do something useful. You know what I
dude,
mean?
it happens all the time. They're really they're expensive as shit. Don't get me wrong, but like there's a lot of bandsaws that actually sell like diamond imbued bandsaws and whatnot. It's actually pretty interesting.
What?
And it looks like a standard saw, but it has like this blue twing to it almost. It's really interesting. Yeah.
If you flick it, it'll just sing. It'll be like ding. I feel that, man. All right. Well, shit. Do you have any words for the chat? Do you have any parting words for the chat? What would you like to say to them? Any words of wisdom? That's about it.
Any words of wisdom? No, I'm not the wise guy here.
Man, look, we are all wise. We have our own perspectives to share.
True.
And I feel like through perspectives we become wise. So you know what I mean? Bro, listen, let me tell you this. This is just a little tidbit of information real quick. If I was able to gather all the perspectives of the entire planet Earth, I would be the most wise motherfucker in the world. Like no, real. Like think about it.
No, you're not wrong. No, you're not wrong.
If you understood how every single person on the planet thought and felt, you would be the wisest person in the world. You know what I mean?
It also depends on like how you would absorb that information, because you might just end up having a Bruce Almighty situation, and you just have to
you'd
make everything
be
into
God.
it.
Like you would actually be God, bro. That's God mode.
Yeah.
That's when you put your intellect to 2000. That's the cheat code, bro.
This is when you get that almighty computer and just accidentally tap that tilde key.
Bro, listen, bro. I'm trying to find the Konami code to life, alright?
Got you.
But yeah, man. Thank you for calling in today. Really appreciate you for Rizzle, Miss Frizzle. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Magic School Bus. Yep. And as always, man, I'll catch you hopefully on the next one, man.
Yep, I'll be here.
Alright.
Thanks, man. Peace.
No problem. Alrighty, alright. We got Super Duper Kyle coming on next. And yes, wait, hold on. Before we continue, actually, I want to kind of touch on this point of perceived value. So I was watching this video by this guy called Alex Becker. I actually posted a link to him in the Discord. Shout out to Discord. If you haven't join the Discord. But I posted a link to one of Alex Becker's videos where he was talking about how to sell. He was talking about how to sell a pen, actually. And he basically distinguished value, like actual intrinsic value, and perceived value. And he said the only things that have actual value is food, shelter, and water. And everything else is just perceived value. And I was like, that is so true. And so I was like, yeah, it's one of those things that I had never thought about until it was explained in that way. But I could link the video to you guys in the Discord again if you guys would like. I'd put it in the I'd probably put it in Defeat Your Mind. It's a pretty good video. It's just very informative when it comes to telling you like how to sell, how to be a good salesperson. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and have Super Duper Kyle come on. Super Duper Kyle, hello. Welcome to the AI Elite Show. How are you doing, bro? Is money necessary? Yo.
Hi.
What's good? What's good?
Okay, so I was sitting here like trying to think of an answer, and the only answer I could come up with was yes, money is necessary. But I was like, that's too easy. I want to know what the counter argument for that would be. So I'm gonna go with no, it's not necessary. But
I want to hear this.
It is convenient for today's society and how society has we know it. It's convenient for us, but it's not a necessity at all, like you just said. Like you just said, the only things that are necessary are water, food, and shelter. But we couldn't live our lives as we know it without money. And in the grand scheme of things, money's a relatively new idea because we weren't using money for a long time. We were just like in tribes doing work for like no type of incentive other than getting what we actually need, like getting the food we need. Yeah, exactly. So I would say it's not necessary and it's convenient. And that's really my answer for that question. But I wanted to pose another question about it. Like, okay, so after that, is money like actually a good thing, or does it do more harm than good? Would it be better to live how we used to live, just doing what we need to survive, or is currency what we should be doing, if that makes sense?
All right, so do you want me to answer? I'll give you an answer. Or are you just presenting it as like a rhetorical question? Because I really think this is a good one. I like it.
I would like to hear your answer, but then I also have an answer.
All right, cool. So I'll start then. I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're right. We don't necessarily need money. It's one of those things that we sort of came up with as a civilization in order to not kill each other. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things that sort of adds the stability element to everything that we do as a society, right? As unstable as it may be at times, you know, with the market crashes and da-da-da. But would it be better to go back to the old days? I don't know. If I didn't know better, I would say yes. Like, as in, if I didn't know what life could be like if we weren't in the old days. So, for example, let's say all my memory was wiped and I had no idea about modern civilization. I'd probably be okay with living like that. You know what I'm saying? However, when you're asking me this question, right, and I think about a situation where my maximum age to live is probably going to be 30 if I'm lucky, and my sister or brother dying from freaking chicken pox or something because we're literally just trading things to survive again, then I'd probably say I wouldn't be very pleased with it. But that's only if I knew that there was another way.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's my answer for it. You could prove me wrong though. Sorry, I just want to clarify. Are you saying like, should we trade, like current society, should we just trade everything that we do? Or just go back to the old days, like for real back in the old days where we didn't have any of this shit?
Yeah, like way back, like just our tribe, just hunter-gatherers.
Okay.
Instead of trading.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just disagree with you again because I like disagreeing with people.
No, it's fine.
I would say money has done more harm than good, in my opinion. A lot of wars that we that happen are over money or something that we deem valuable that really isn't valuable. A lot of lives are lost. A lot of massacres, genocide is done over money. Money is also it's helped us in our society, but it has ruined other societies. Like Nestle went to court and tried to make it so that water is considered a need and not a right. So that way people in like developing countries have to pay for water because it's not a right anymore. We made it a law that it's not a right. So now you have to pay for our bottled water, even if you don't have the money. So capitalism has caused problems for other people as well. It's poverty is a really big problem, such as like the 1% has most of the majority of the money and 99% doesn't, even though they're the majority of the population. Poverty is also a direct correlation to crime that happens, which is more killings, more robbing, everything, just so you can feed your family, which should be a human right and wouldn't be an issue if money was not a thing. So now that also becomes a problem. And yeah, I don't know. I think like all this is caused by making money a factor instead of how we used to live. So yeah, if we went back to old times, yeah, there'll be issues with like diseases and stuff and all that. But I mean, I feel like it's a toss up. Like, yeah, you could possibly have the like chance of someone dying to like this disease that we don't have any way to fight, compared to now where we know that what the disease is, we have the cure for it, but now you can't afford it because it's $4,000 to get your medicine. So you're going to die anyways, but we know how to cure it. We just can't help you. So, I mean, it's kind of a toss up. I feel like I don't really have an answer on which one's better, but I would argue that money didn't like help all that much outside of now we all got smartphones, got PlayStations. That's cool. Yeah, we know how to cure some diseases, but a lot of the ones we won't even help you with because we want money, want to stay rich, we want to kill off the poorer people. So I don't know, I think living in your own tribe, being one with your tribe, would have been better in my opinion. If I didn't know what life was like now, I think it would have been better, would have been happier, less violent in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, we're out of time, but I want to present you with another I don't want to say argument because I feel like that's probably the wrong connotation for it. I want to present you with another perspective, if you would like. So
yeah, that'd be great.
So basically, you're absolutely right about what you said. Like, there's no arguing that. We definitely did a lot of fucked up shit when it came to our greed, especially. And there's really no excuse for it. There's no good reason for it, I should say. However, I do want to present you with this, right? So, to address the doing more harm than good notion, right? Let's go back to when we first developed the nuclear bomb. When we first started understanding like actual nuclear fusion, right? And from this brilliant discovery, where we could have a potential for infinite amounts of energy, we also discovered that we could destroy infinite amounts of people. So I'd have to say that it's sort of the same thing when it comes to money or anything in general, right? If there is something, it's like the opposites deal here. If there's something with great potential, it can do either good or bad. And that goes for money, that goes for your oneness with your tribe. Because, for example, a feeling of oneness with your community or tribe can be a great thing if the sense of community is centered around something that is fulfilling for the rest of the community or for the world even. But tribalism is also one of the best indicators for a coming genocide as well. Because you got to remember, tribes wiped each other out too. Because of any particular great reason, but mostly because they were just from a different tribe, and because of that they were seen as a threat. And that's still very much a thing today, especially when it comes to, I hesitate to bring it up, politics. People tend to get very tribalistic with politics, and this is very dangerous, because when you start identifying yourself as a group of people instead of as an individual as well, then you can't do certain things, right? And you're forced to think a certain way. You're forced into a sort of groupthink scenario. But also, when it comes to starvation and all these terrible things that have been done, for the sake of money, right? That's true shit. However, on the other side of the spectrum, there are companies that are made directly to avoid stuff like that or to help people in need. For example, a reason why I really like Tony Robbins is because he's one of the richest dudes on this planet, and he spends a majority of the money that he generates. He doesn't even have to put anything into it. He literally finds a way to just make the money. He feeds millions and millions of people every year with that money. You know what I mean? Through organizations. Like, there's organizations dedicated to genocide. There's organizations dedicated to helping. There's also tribes that are organized to genocide and tribes that are organized to helping. You know what I mean? We can talk about Nazis. We can talk about Jews. We can talk about any group of any demographic. And it'll all come down to what they believe at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like I feel like it's more, how do I word this? It's like more organized, and I feel like it's bigger than like, yeah, tribes fight with each other, but like if we go to like the Holocaust where you're gassing millions of people, it just seems like it's on such a larger scale than tribes fighting each other, if that makes sense. Like, it just seems like what we do now is such on a like bigger scale because of money. And then also, yeah, there's companies that come to help the people who are now like cause the problems that we originally caused in the first place. But would these people have those problems if we didn't cause them in the first place? I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of a loop.
It is.
There's the people no in Africa,
solution, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them wouldn't have had issues if we didn't go over there and just ruin everything and like destroyed everything. Maybe they wouldn't need us to help them get food now, or they wouldn't need us to help them with everything if we didn't hurt them in the first place. So it's kind of like, yeah, we have these companies that are helping, but we are like, what if we could go back and just none of that happened in the first place and we were just all in our little tribes? I feel like murder, like they would still fight, but I don't feel like it would be on such a large scale. So that's just my counter argument to your counter argument.
So I just have one question then. It's not an argument, it's just a question. So if we went back in time, let's say right now, like all of humanity just sort of got like fucked and we had to go back to the Stone Age, right? What would happen after, let's say, 1,000 years? Would we stay there?
I feel like the cycle could happen again, but I feel like it's hard to say because, yeah, we could just come back to where we were and learn all the same things again, or we could go like a bunch of infinite directions. I feel like you never know because the earth is always reinventing itself in a way. So we could go a different direction I can't even comprehend and do something totally different.
Because I don't have an answer.
Or we could die off as well.
I have no idea, but like, I just always think about it like that. I'm like, even if we did start over, would we do anything different? You know?
Yeah, like, it's a good question.
Because it's like that Fallout quote, war never changes. You know what I mean?
Where's coolness when you need him?
Huh? Where's coolness? Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Come in like, well, actually, Ollie. With his Morgan Freeman head ass. Let me stop. But yeah, do you have any parting words for the chat? Anything that you'd like to say?
No, I just felt like everyone was just going to come in and say yes. So I wanted to stir up the pot. Yes. And now I'm sure some people will come in and like disagree with me, make it more interesting.
Yes, I like that.
So I did my job.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Because I never know which side to actually take. I don't really take sides. I just like starting shit.
I feel like whenever I come on, I have to know both sides of the coin. Like, I have to know what I have to understand your side and my side, or else I don't really know
what your
my side.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly why I love this shit, because like, dude, it forces you to think about shit from a different perspective.
Yep, I had to come in here because I felt like it was just going like, I was the same. I was like, yeah, of course money is necessary. And then I was like, nah, that's too easy. Like, I couldn't actually think of money not being necessary. So I just sat here for like 10 minutes trying to figure it out. So
Man,
I got my count. I got it.
you're the truth for that. Well, thank you very much for coming through, Miss Liquid Nine Tails. And yeah, I hope to see you on another one. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course you will see me. I'm always gonna be there.
I'll let you.
Bye, Ali.
Bye. Man, y'all are too kind, man. Y'all are too kind. All right. That was good. I like this. It was like what she presents is a really solid point. It's like we could definitely go back and things might be more peaceful, but what would happen after? You know? That's one of the things that I thought about too. It's like, well, why would we go back? But if we did, then what? You know? So yeah, that's one of the things that I like to think about. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Intel the God in. Let's see what Intel has to say. Intel the God, welcome to the A Ali Show. You're on episode 12. Is money necessary? How you doing, yo?
I'm doing good. Shoot, it's been a minute since I've been on this
Hey,
show.
it's been a minute. You know, damn. Welcome back. Let me stop. All right, you ready?
Alright. Yeah.
What you got?
So I don't want to just say it's what is going on. Oh, never mind. I don't want to just say it's necessary. I don't want to just say it's not necessary because I can see, arguments for both.
Mhm.
But coming from, and let me say this: I'm not out on my own yet. I'm still living with my mom. I'm only my sophomore year of college.
Mhm.
But even just from this past year and a half of trying to get my adult life together, I got to say money is pretty necessary.
Yeah.
I don't have money. I can't get in my car to drive to work. If I can't get to work, I can't get more money.
And why is it important that you get to work?
So I can get more money.
But what would you use it
So I can
for?
pay for pay bills, put gas in my car. Because it's one of those things where it's like, without money, there's so much you can't do.
Damn.
I mean, I just named I can't pay my bills. I can't really live because I'll always be in debt. I mean, there's always bankruptcy, but I mean, so like, look at it this way: I'm in college, right?
Mhm.
If I don't have money, I can't progress my education. Which means I can't get a higher paying job. And if I have student loans, it's not like bankruptcy is going to clear that.
Yeah.
So I'd still have to pay that. So money is, unfortunately, in this modern age, a necessary thing.
Mhm.
I do believe that, because they always say money is the root of all evil. I think it's one of them. There's other things that are roots of all evil, but it's definitely one of the big ones.
Mhm.
You keep joining and it's confusing me. See what else. I'm kind of just spitballing at this point, but yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I just want to bring something up real quick.
mhm.
So, it's kind of funny. You said that you needed money to pay your bills and to get out of debt and to be able to do stuff. But what's really interesting is that you failed to mention food or
Yeah.
water. You know what I'm saying? Because like no, like real shit. Like I just think about it. It's just like damn, like for me, that's why essentially money's important. If I don't have money, I can't eat. You
Mhm.
know, at least eat good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like, yeah, it's one of the things that I really remember. It's like if there ever comes a day where I really run out of money, I will starve.
Mm.
You know, and that's what drives me. But
I think for
yeah.
me, the reason why I name like bills and stuff first is because ever since I was little, one of my mom's main thing is I have to have money to pay bills. That's always been something that's been kind of like in my family. It's I need the money to pay bills. If I can't pay bills, I can't do all this. And I guess food and stuff is always kind of lumped in with that. But I mean, because then even now, food isn't one of those things that's like if I'm low on money, my mom, because she's still kind of managing my a bank account because I'm not good with money.
Mhm.
That's still one of the first things. It's not, oh, are you going to have enough money to, if you need to get some food or anything like that? It's, do you have enough money to pay your car insurance? Do you have money for gas? Do you have enough money for the electric bill? So that's one of those things where, and then actually one time she actually let me go through like if I went and got an apartment right now, the first thing we went through was rent, other bills, and then the very last thing we went through was food. So I guess that's why bills came up first.
Okay. So, yeah, that makes sense. You were sort of conditioned to be that way in a way, because it's sort of what you were just surrounded by.
Yeah.
So check this out.
I think.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say your outlook on money is kind of just your upbringing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. Because I used to think about money like it was poison. I used to hate it. I used to think, man, like I don't even need money. Money's stupid. Da da da. Like, because I was taught that money is the root of all evil. That like there was a few quotes in the Bible I was taught. Money is the root of all evil, and it's hard for the rich to enter the kingdom of God and stuff like that. But I want to say this. That Bible quote is actually often misunderstood and misquoted. So, hold on. So the truth is, the full verse is actually, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And then it goes on. And then there was the other one where it was like, how hard is it? It's hard for the rich to enter the kingdom of God because you can't enter the kingdom of God through things that you do, like building wealth. It's who you are. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, when it's put in that perspective, like in all reality, if you have any intention of making the world a better place, money is the only way that you'll be able to do it effectively. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't, like, if you have a message, if you have something that can change people's hearts for the better, how will you get that message out if you can't fund it? If you can't get it out to the people that you need to get your message to, That's why it's important to me, because I feel like, honestly, like no bullshit here, man. I'm just saying this for the record here. I feel like the message that I want to tell the world will change it if I had enough money. If I had the means to actually bring it to people, that could change your life. You know what I'm saying? Because it changed mine. You know what I mean? like what you're seeing right now isn't even me in my final form. Like, I'm young as fuck, But I feel like my rate of growth, the fact that I refuse to hold on to beliefs that don't serve me well, it has allowed me to accelerate my ways of thinking really, really fast. Like people will tell me, like, man, like, you go through phases really fast. Cause like I had my little stoner phase, I had my depression phase, but that only lasted for like maybe a couple years. For some people, it lasts their entire life. You know what I mean? And so I'm thankful for that philosophy of defeat yourself, because it's like, dude, like, I use this in my everyday life. Like, there is a code that hold on, bro, don't make me read this shit to you. I will go to, after this call, I will go and get my actual code. Like, I wrote down a code for my life to follow, and I know that there's people that would find this extremely useful, man. Like, yeah,
nigga, I need you to be my life coach,
bro.
God damn.
Listen, let me keep going. Let me keep going, bro. Listen, no, because real shit, like, I'm trying, bro. You don't understand. Like, I freaking love people, man. I love people. Like, I need people. We need each other. You know what I mean? And like, if I'm broke, I could have the greatest knowledge in the world, but how would I share it with people if I'm broke? I would be the most wisest bum on the street. You know what I'm saying? That nobody cares to listen to. You know what I mean?
But here's what I'm gonna say. Even if you're like the wisest bum, you're kind of right. No one would care to listen to, because I mean, if you see someone who's kind of homeless on the street,
they don't have your attention.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I know it's bad to say, but my grandfather, he always says whenever he sees someone who's homeless on the street, they're probably richer than you are.
What? Wait. Does he mean rich in mind or spirit?
No, like in money. He thinks they're scamming people.
Oh, yikes. Some are.
Yes.
I mean, there was this one guy that was always on the freeway saying that his bike was broken down and he needed bus money every day. I thought that was a really great hustle because he would never see the same people twice.
My bike broken down.
Excuse me, you got $5 for the bus on there. I'd be like, sir, we talked yesterday.
My bike broke.
You're here at 7 a.m. every day.
Oh my god.
That's his job. That's his job. But he's making bank.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, shit. This guy had a sign that said his UFO broke down. I like that, Liquid.
Oh
But yeah,
my
man, I
God.
feel what you're saying, bro. But yeah, that's why money's important to me. Like, I'm sorry, I got like really passionate there, but I just need you guys to understand that, like, when I say things like I'm going to become wealthy as fuck, it's not because I'm sitting here like I just want to get a freaking Lambo and I want to just stunt for these people on Instagram. It's like, no, like, wealth means that you're changing lives every single place that you touch. You know what I'm saying? Wealth is not being rich. If you're rich, you just got money. But if you're wealthy, you're doing something that matters to everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you good. I mean, you're saying a whole bunch of true stuff. Like, for all the people, it's like, you know, rappers always stunting like, oh, I got this on my wrist, got a Rollie, got Patek,
Yeah.
got like Lambos in the garage.
Yeah.
That's all well and good, but what else are you doing with it?
Like, bro, I just want to be in a position where I can. Okay, this is what I need to do. This is what needs to happen in order for what I'm talking about to occur. I need to make myself a valuable person. I need to give value to other people. I need to provide a service to people at scale. And then I need to make more services to people at scale and serve. You see the word serve here, right? I'm doing a service. I'm offering something valuable to you that you would find valuable, that would make you happy. And the more I do that, the more I would earn, simply because it's not about me. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I need to be able to do that, and then I need to be able to teach other people how to do it. That's the next step. Empowering other people. That's the step right after that a lot of people miss, that most people miss. But the 1% that we talk about all the time, usually they're in there. Those are those people that are making other people rich too. Because you can't just make mad money and not be giving value to other people in some way. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that though.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Interesting. I said the 1% is usually doing that.
The 1% are the people
But everyone's always saying the 1%
Bro.
are the bad.
Bro, it's not, bro. Look, okay, honestly, just look up interviews from the most wealthiest people on this planet, and you will see how self-aware and selfless they are. Some of them, not so much. I don't think so. But you'll see that regardless of what you think they are, what they actually do with their money isn't just spending it on bullshit. They're enriching the world. You know what I'm saying? People who enrich the world enrich themselves. Don't forget this, everybody. Don't forget this. The amount of money you make will be directly correlated by the amount of value and service that you bring to people. That's why if you can do it, that's why people make minimum wage, because you're doing a job that anybody can do. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a doctor, you can make so much money because not everybody can do your job. That's why if you're a real estate investor, nobody does that. You know what I'm saying? The shit nobody knows how to do, people get paid for that. A lot.
Holy shit! You just blew my mind.
It's true. Look at every single person that's wealthy. They know shit that other people don't.
Oh my God.
It's always that way. And that's why I'm like, yo, that's why people can make fun of Ty Lopez all they want, but he was smart as fuck. He was smart as fuck because he knows how to make people feel something, and he actually knows the power of knowledge. He used that to become wealthy. He knew shit that other people didn't, and everybody played the game. I'm telling you, bro, the more you learn, the more you earn. That's not a joke. If you are really skilled and really acceptable at something, you will make bank for it. But only if you're the only person that can do it. So be the greatest you, because you will definitely become wealthy because of it. And make sure it's not just about you. That's the key. Sorry, we went way over time.
No, you good.
I know Apollo Cosmic sitting there like, oh my God, shut up. All right, look, do you have any parting words for the people in chat?
Listen to Ali, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Bro, stop.
I mean,
Freaking love.
I mean,
man.
I'm not like kind of like dick riding. I'm being 100% serious. When I put in the defeat your body the other day, that you inspired me to get up and go for a run. I'm serious.
Bro.
Like, you inspired me to really like start taking my health into consideration.
Bro, listen, that's the reason for the season, bro. Like, no, like real shit, man. Like, I'm gonna be doing more of that because that's what fuels me, man. Like, bro, I put up a simple push-up video just showing people how to do certain push-ups they can do at their crib, and I got people that DM'd me that were like, man, like, you made me want to work out, and you made me want to like actually do something that matters. And I was just like, fuck, bro, like, that's beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit low-key makes me want to tear up. Like, let me stop, yo. Let me stop, man. It just makes me feel like my life matters, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you can go from, like, the darkest place to the brightest grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, just by...
Bars.
Bro, look. But, yeah, man. Thank you, bro. For
All
real.
right, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
All right, dog.
You're inspiring the youth.
Inspire the youth. Find the booth. Let me stop. All right. Yes,
All right, man. Deuces.
Fuck, guys. Let me chill for a second. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead to Apollo Cosmic, and then we're probably gonna close it off with Otia or Foxy if they want to speak. I'm not gonna tell them to, but if they want to. But if they don't, then Apollo Cosmic will be the last person of the night. I'm gonna close the show. And then I'm going to tell you guys my code. I'm going to read it off to you guys because I wrote it down yesterday. Like, wrote it down for real. And I think I have it organized to where I want it to be. All right. Apollo Cosmic is deafened and muted, so I'm not sure if Apollo Cosmic can even hear me. Hello. Apollo Cosmic, welcome to the show. How you doing, my bro?
Good.
Good. Let me stop. So, man, I'm sure that you heard quite a lot. I'm sorry for keeping you waiting, my friend.
It's fine.
All right. Is money necessary? Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. Let's go. What you got for me?
Now, do I think it's necessary? In a sense, yes, but only because of the. I think Liquid Nine Tails said this earlier. Only because of the society we're in. I really feel like it's just that because we have certain values on like those types of things, like money, like food, water, all these necessities.
We think the money is the actual value.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just cotton.
Yep.
Like, not even paper. It's just cotton.
Yep.
Like, it's like words. We kind of just give power to like money. Like, we view it as something more than it actually is. It's not really much. Like, it's just a way for us to, like, I guess, I forget who said this one earlier too. It was like trade. Was it Afro Gundam? I can't remember.
Mhm.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, we were
It
talking
was
about
like
trade.
yeah. So it's like you use money in order to like trade for services, and that's kind of like the trade is the money, and the amount of money you get is kind of like the amount your practice is worth. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like that's kind of like why I think money is necessary. Where it's like we need to like be able to use our practices, or basically our unique skills or unique set of assets to like fulfill these requirements that other people either don't know how to do or really just can't do, and we use that currency to get like these different things that we need.
Mm. I feel that
Mhm.
currency is
Yeah.
like it to me. Money is the means to an end. It's the tool through which I can perform my art. You understand what I'm saying? Money is the
Somewhat.
Cintiq tablet that I can use to create a painting. In other words, let's say I want to create a center to feed and shelter the homeless. Money is the tool that you use to create that canvas. The paintbrush. That's what money is. It's a tool. It's the hammer that builds the house, that feeds and shelters your family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what money is, and that's what it always should be seen as. But what people fuck up all the time is they see money as the actual value. No, what the actual value is what you get as a result of the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just thought of something like a perfect example is kind of like I think it's kind of like with clothes. Like I find it like nowadays people just like to get like nice looking things with money, and it's just like, oh, he looks good, like he has all these nice clothes, like he's wearing like the latest fashion sets and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then it's just like I could just be wearing some basic clothes, and like basically the knowledge that I have, like the knowledge I carry, is like worth more than the clothes that you wear.
Mhm.
It's just that its perception is kind of like where it's like, oh, this guy has money, he must have a lot of value.
Mhm.
Whereas like I guess knowledge wouldn't be seen as like, how would I put it? It's like with clothes.
Mm.
It's like based on how someone appears, it's like you value like shoot, I have a point and I'm having a hard time getting
Yeah,
there.
go
But
ahead.
it's like
Do your best.
shoot. So it's like how we perceive people, like what they look like,
Mhm.
is kind of like what we equate as like value. Like, oh, this person, because he has nice clothes, he must be valuable. Whereas knowledge is also valuable, but you won't necessarily perceive that based on how somebody looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was like an example with like, I forget who you were talking to, but it was like homeless people. They could be like some of the smartest people, but you wouldn't know it because of like how they look.
Exactly. It's perception. Perspective. Let me stop. Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, I like that. I like the soundboard.
Bro, I love this thing. It's my baby. But yeah, no, like it's as much as we want to sit and speculate on what it actually means, how you appear is everything. It's the truth. It sucks, but it's true. Your appearance matters, and how other people perceive you matters. Your reputation matters, because if you want to instill any kind of change, if you want to do anything, the first thing that's going to happen is people are going to look at you and make their call from there. Shit. Sorry, go ahead. If you had anything to say too, I didn't want to cut you off.
I keep going because I might want to say something in response to what you had to say.
All right. So, all in all, man, like the point that I just wanted to bring was how you are perceived matters. And the truth is, if you want to garner effective attention for something, like, for example, if I'm sitting here trying to tell you how to be fit and how to be healthy, and I'm fucked up, like my body's just mad gnarly and I'm like not fit, you know what I'm saying? Why would you listen to me? If I'm trying to teach you how to become wealthy and I don't have any indication of wealth, why would you listen to me? If I'm trying to show you how to be an artist and I have no portfolio, why would you listen to me? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
your appearance and your perception and how people see you absolutely matters, regardless of what you think about it or not. You know? But that's just the way people are. It's not a bad thing, but it's a thing. You know? It's just kind of how it is.
Yeah. That's crazy because that made me think of something. It's like, when it comes to, I don't know, for me personally, I find it when it comes to ourselves, it's hard to take our own advice, but we can give like some godly ass advice to like somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Some days I don't feel like defeating myself. I don't feel like that all the time, but I got to.
Yeah. I feel like I can help somebody else in their life. Like, I feel like I'm a supporting character in a sense where it's like I can uplift others, but it's hard to like uplift myself to like get on that level that I help bring others. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But that's kind of where the courage has to kick in. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I had to learn too. Yesterday, even when my boy called me out, he was like, "Man, you're just scared to put out a video." I was like, "Bitch," and I had to prove him wrong. I will still say I'm not scared to this day. I ain't scared of shit. You know what I'm saying? But honestly though, if it scares you, you should probably do it. Because as Will Smith says, all of the greatest gifts,
I know you.
All of our greatest blessings, all of our greatest gifts are on the other side of fear.
Of fear.
Yes. 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 Jump out of the plane and let your arms hang out, man. For real. Because here's the thing. I hesitated to put out workout videos, but from that one video I put out, I was able to change the way somebody thought about their lifestyle. That's a life change. That's you. All right. I was inspired by Will Smith. He was one of the first people that I actually was super inspired by as a kid. That's you being the Will Smith to somebody else, making them become somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't be Ali the Prodigy if I didn't have people like Will Smith to look up to. Because he decided to put himself out there. He decided to not be afraid. Therefore, if I have any intention of doing anything worthwhile, I have to move beyond my fear. Because
my
it's not
question
about
now is how? Like, I know it's all about courage and building it up, but it's like, doesn't motivation play a factor in that too? Like, honestly, for me, when it comes to tackling something that like I might be scared of, it's mainly because of like stuff that happened in the past.
Ooh,
like
I got an answer
a lot of
for
the things
you.
maybe. Yeah, because it's like a lot of things that happened to you in the past, like traumas and stuff like that,
Absolutely.
also are things that hinder you from getting past that layer of fear.
Exactly.
And it's like you don't want to go through that same pain. You're afraid of what's going to happen. And it, like, honestly, like, prevents you from doing a lot of things that you're probably capable of doing in that moment. And it's just really whack. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
It's whack.
You want to know something? I got you. Okay.
All right.
So when I was a kid, I was told that I was skinny a lot. There was this dude, I'm pretty sure he used steroids. He was in 6th grade and he was the most diesel motherfucker on planet Earth. Like, I've never seen somebody so swole. We were in 6th grade and he would always like, he was one of those people that like pretended to be your friend, but he would like bash on you whenever like girls were around. So I'd be around him and I thought it was cool. I thought he was my friend. Like, oh wow, like this big, cool, muscular guy wants to be my friend. And like I would be sitting drawing and he'd just be he'd literally be flexing in class like, man, like you need to get your gains up, bro. Like, why you so skinny, dog? And then he like roasted my clothes and shit. And yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. And he sort of just made me feel very scrawny, you know what I'm saying? Just wimpy, you know what I mean? I was the wimpy ass kid, right? And so what I did was I was actually, when I got home, I don't know how I managed to do this, but from that point forward, I decided to wear my shirt as little as possible. And the funny thing is, from me not wearing my shirt, I was allowing myself to see exactly what other people see or what I saw all the time. So this is why I don't wear shirts, bro. So I can have a reminder of this thing that was my issue. You know what I'm saying? This thing that bothered me. But also, I want to tell you a little story here. So they actually ran an experiment. I don't know if I talked about this yet, but they ran an experiment on rats. And what they did was they wanted to see what truly motivated things to happen, right? And so they put a mouse or rat on one side of a maze and then put food on the other, and they had the mouse basically get hungry as fuck. And so it was like trying to find the food very hard, you know what I'm saying? Because it was hungry, then it got to the food. But what they found was that the mouse or the rat became like 10 times more motivated to get to the end of the mouse maze, not because of food, but because of the smell of a cat behind it.
Wow.
So shut up. So what I'm trying to say is they found out that fear is one of the greatest motivators. So think about it like this. When you're afraid of something, I want you to think about it like this. This is how you overcome your fear. 1, think about the alternative. What happens if you don't face this fear? For me, it would have been, I would have never cared about my fitness. I would have never tried to actually look good. I would have never started working out because I would have been afraid that it wouldn't have been worth it. I also probably wouldn't have changed somebody's opinion, changed somebody's life even, or lifestyle if I was afraid to make that workout video. We wouldn't be having this conversation. This stream wouldn't exist if I continued to be afraid of putting myself in public and streaming for the first time. Think about the alternative. What happens if you don't?
I remember something I did early in 12th grade, like this year. One of the things was I really hate bringing this up, but 12th grade was honestly like a bigger moment of growth than like possibly some of my other years. But one of the things I wanted to do was get a girlfriend, and I remember the day that I went to go like ask her out I kind of imagined it like a pathway, so I was going to own up to my fear, and I saw 2 outcomes. She's either going to say yes or no. On that day, I got like a confusing answer, but we're gonna ignore that. So I thought of it as either yes or no. So I accepted whatever outcome I got, regardless. So I accepted the act of doing it, and I was going to go with whatever path it gave me.
That's owning it.
And
how did you feel afterwards, though? How did you feel after you asked? Not after she answered, but after you asked. After you said something.
Well, I was still shook that I did that. But then she gave me a maybe, which was different from what I was expecting, because I was either getting yes or no. I didn't expect maybe. So when I heard maybe, best believe, I don't know, hormones kicked in. I ran, and this is what I did. I ran into a classroom, and it had like a weird overhead. So what I did was I ran inside, I put my backpack down, I ran, jumped up, hung onto it, then I fell on my back. And then the teacher looked at me and asked, "Am I okay?" And I was just laughing my ass off the whole time.
Oh, look, man, that'll do that. I'll tell you, wait, are you done with your story? Because I'll tell you one too.
Yeah.
Check this out, man. This is, bro, listen, to this day, this is probably why I'm so, like, okay with, like, going over my fears, all right? Because I'll tell you what happened one day when I was in high school. I think it was 11th grade or 12th. Either way, this was the best day of my life. Okay, probably still is, because that was the day I learned how rewarding conquering your fears could be. So there was this cute girl. Her name was Becca, right? And I always like had a little thing for her. I didn't want to date her necessarily, but I was just like, man, like she is so freaking cute. Like I just like, ooh, like it's so cute. Like, and I just always like looked at her. Like she's just like the really cute girl that you'd look at in class. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. So one day, I excuse myself from class and I go to the bathroom. And I see her in the hallway. She's in the same class as me. We're literally in the same class, and she had gone to use the bathroom too. I went to use the bathroom, and I was like, oh shit, she's coming my way. And I was like, I had already like I was always the guy that made jokes and shit. Like I was always joking around. And
Yeah.
so as we passed, I was just like, hey yo, what's good? And she was just like, hey Ali, like something like that. And like she just gave me that rolling eyes like this motherfucker, right? And I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying, just about to go pee, you know? And she was like, no, listen. I was just trying to be cool about it because I didn't want to like be weird, you know what I mean? And she was like, she was like, oh, okay, I'm about to go back to class. And I was like, hey yo, hold on real quick, let me ask you something. And she was like, what? And I was like, you want to make out real quick? She was like, yo, listen. I literally said, like, in my head, I was going to just see how she reacted first and then just be like, man, I'm just fucking with you, and then just walk away. You know what I mean? But yo, listen, bro. I was like, you want to make out real quick? And she was like, right now? I was like, yeah. And then she was like, okay, but I have to get back to class, so we gotta make this quick. I was like, oh my God. Like I literally screamed, but I was just like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool. And so we freaking made out in the hallway, bro. And then we never talked again, and it was amazing. Bro. Well, we talked, but like we never like we didn't like make it a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, bro, you would be so surprised at what would happen if you just asked. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's not to say just walk up to random people every day and ask them to make out. Although that probably will work on one, of course not, eventually, because it's a numbers game. But yeah, I had tried that like a different time with somebody else and it worked, and I was just like, dude, I'm never being scared of shit again. Like this shit, I was like, life is too short to just not find out real quick for the one time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, for me personally, I think it's just I overthink stuff, and I always think of like, honestly, I don't blame anime for this, but it's like the concept of like different timelines. So it's like doing this action,
I feel it,
or doing that action, and it's like, what happens if I had done this, or if I never had said this, or if I had never met this person, did this thing, blah blah blah, all these different infinite possibilities. And then it's just like I get so scared, like I get like choked up.
So I'll tell you this.
It's like
this is how I look at it, right? Because I think about that all the time too. So this is how I look at it. Let's say there are infinite timelines, right? And let's say that this is just one of them. My goal is to make sure that I'm the best out of every Ali timeline. You understand what I'm saying? I want my timeline to be the dopest one. So I'm going to do what I got to do to have the dopest timeline that all the other Alis can't be a part of. You understand what I'm saying? So think about it like that, bro. You could be the best timeline. That's where Defeat Yourself came from. I was like, man, like anything could happen. Everything could be any other way. Like maybe there's timelines where all this shit happens, and I'm like, wait, why don't I just be the dopest timeline? And then I just thought about it. I was like, shit, that means I gotta beat every other me. I gotta defeat myself. And I was like, yo,
that's mad.
So
that's true.
You see what I'm saying? I gotta beat myself. There's like I always saw it like freaking Mario Kart. You know when you can do the race where you race against your own ghost? Yeah. It's like that. It's just like that. I'm racing my own ghost. I could have lived this life 20,000 billion times already, but I'm chasing my ghost because I can probably beat that time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got what you're saying.
Make this shit your best timeline. Because it probably is.
Right.
You might as well be.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? Don't make it your
I'm
worst.
I want to keep the conversation going, but I'm pretty
I know
sure
Foxy
OT
wants
want to talk.
Yeah, wait, does OT want to talk?
I don't know.
Or is
He just
Foxy
dropped a bunch of his
Foxy's
emojis.
just telling us
I
to
don't know.
wrap it up. I know.
End this timeline.
Fine.
Okay,
fine,
Thanos.
fine. Oh my god. No. Psh, y'all, listen, bro. All right, look, man. Thank you for calling in today. This is a very enlightening, beautiful conversation, man. I appreciate you. I hope you were
Facts.
able
Are
to
you still
find...
gonna be on off stream?
Yeah, I'll be around because I gotta download the shit.
Hey.
So I'm probably gonna hop in Discord
Hey.
after this because I gotta download this and then the other episode. So yeah, man. Thank you. All right, I'll talk to you later, bro. Hopefully you found anything that I said helpful, bro. For real.
Shout out to all the pairs.
Shout out to all the pair. Stop. Answer in the Discord channel. All right. I'll read this one answer and then we'll close things out. All right, dog. I'll holler at you.
Later.
Doses. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and read this real quick, you guys. This is an answer from Mad Muzz about the question for today. By the way, man, I hope anybody listening to this heard what I said today, for real, on some real shit.
Oh, I think they heard you.
Okay, here we go. Money is not a necessity as... Oh, this is from Mad Muzz. Money is not a necessity as humans can adapt to a world without money, as we are an intelligent species, and even some individuals nowadays are living without money and are living off of the land and being self-sufficient. The thought that we need money comes from the fact that we feel that we need to put specific prices on everything we have, when in the old days we used to trade a resource we had for another resource that we needed. This allowed us to help each other get what we needed and gave people jobs to create these resources, such as farming crops or breeding sheep or pigs and any other things that we need, or food or clothes. But now we use money which is worth nothing except the worth we give it, and it serves no real good purpose except to control. But the problem we have today is that we have given money so much power that if we took money away from the world, people would go insane. There would be death and chaos, and only the strongest would survive. Okay. So I think I agree with most of what you're saying. I do think, though, that whether it's trade or it's a price tag, either way, you're paying for it in some way by sacrificing something. So to me, that's what paying for something is, regardless of it's in pesos, if it's in American dollars, or if it's in goats. That's paying for something. When you sacrifice something that you earned yourself in exchange for something that you desire or want or need, whatever. So I feel like either way, it's just the same shit, different day to me. Because if we were living back in those days, I would be hustling as many goats as I could find. You know what I mean? But now the machine through which we exchange is just a different one. And to me, I don't really see a discernible difference. So if we did go back into those days, sure, we'd be living off the land, we'd be doing XYZ, but just because we have these resources and we're trading for them doesn't mean that we wouldn't be fighting for power too, because people always did that from the beginning of time. If you had a goat and I didn't want to work for it, I'd probably kill you for the goat or just steal it from you. So that's exercising my power or lack thereof. If somebody has a bunch of goats, they have the power for that land. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's honestly just how it is. I kind of think that's just how the dynamics of not even just society, but freaking nature in general. Because there's a balance to everything. You'll find in nature even that there is a structure, and there's a very small percentage of the population that have extreme power over the large percentage. For example, the queen of a beehive or the alpha male of a gorilla herd. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be the pyramid effect, because that's how we structure things. You can't build something without structure. And so that's just how it is. I have no answer for you other than the alternative is that we go back in time and do XYZ. But what we have right now is just the way that we are doing the least amount of damage. We're still taking L's regardless, but we're trying to minimize that. You know what I mean? Especially as our powers get bigger and bigger, especially as our advances get stronger and stronger, both in good and in bad, we're just trying to minimize suffering through whatever way we can. At least for the most part. So yeah, money does give people control, but so does having resources in general. Money is a resource, just like anything else. And that's what makes it mean something. That's what makes it matter, is the fact that you can't just have it be all over the place. That's why I argue that socialism doesn't work either. So yeah, that's a topic for another day. Let us go ahead and vote for what the question for the next episode shall be. I'm sure that we have a top 3 to choose from. I need to take a look at what they are real quick. All right, so, oh, never mind. Hold on, the straw poll is right here. Okay. So the votes for for the next question will be: what turns humans inhumane? Is technology making us antisocial? And why do we burn out when we are most motivated? Let us come right back and we will have an answer for you guys on what the question will be on the next one. All right. The chat has decided, ladies and gentlemen. So the question for next week, airing at 8 p.m. Tuesday PST, Tuesday 8 p.m. PST, is going to be: is technology making us more antisocial? All right, guys, as usual, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, please like, comment, subscribe. What do you think of today's answer? How did you like the discussion? I look forward to this next episode because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a doozy. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. And as always, I will catch you on the next one.